Nigeria has 84 million hectares of arable land, but only 40% is cultivated for agricultural use. Two of the largest rivers in Africa are in Nigeria, and there is a population of over 160 million people. Well, these are indices for Nigeria to be prosperous. Unfortunately, that is not the case. As the federal government looks at diversifying the economy, agriculture provides a huge potential. And my guest talks about what is being done to make this happen. Hello there, thank you for joining me on the program this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. Nigeria has immense potentials as far as agriculture is concerned. But according to the president of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akiwumi Adesina, nobody eats potential. Well, in the face of the recession, the government is hoping to use agriculture to revive the economy. I had a conversation with the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development. Put up ahead. Bauchi, Sokoto and Zamfara are some of the states that have kick-started the 2017 farming season by promising bountiful harvest because of their investments in this sector. Well, take a listen to this.
The farming season is just beginning as farmers get to work the ground, hoping for a productive season.
Fertilizer subsidy.
In Sokoto State, fertilizer support from the government couldn't have come at a better time. The governor doubles in performing a fertilizer sale. He wants against illegal practices in the fertilizer sales process.
The federal government reached an agreement with the government of Morocco to produce the fertilizers. The government is giving them out at 5,500 naira. However, we are subsidizing these fertilizers for farmers in Sokoto State. So, instead of a total sum of 5,500 naira, farmers will pay 4,000 naira only, while the government will cover the 1,500 naira deficit.
To ensure that the efforts of the farmers are productive, the government distributes farm equipment.
This initiative, which will go a long way in galvanizing and fast-tracking agricultural activities in Sokoto State and by extension our dear country, Nigeria.
Meanwhile, farmers in Bauchi State are also happy that fertilizer is coming at the right time. The governor witnessed the sales of the commodity. He also inspects farm inputs at an exhibition where he warned against sharp practices.
Let me sound a serious warning to individuals and groups against fertilizer commodity diversion or abuse. The government will not tolerate this, and appropriate measures will be taken on anyone caught in the act. On this note, it is my pleasure to formally launch the 2017 farming season and flag off the sales of fertilizer in Bauchi State. For the purpose of clarity, both NPK and urea would be sold at 5,500 per bag.
Certificates were presented to authorized fertilizer dealers to prevent diversion of the farm input to achieve improved yield on crops.
Most of the farmers, they are facing a lot of economic crisis, a lot of economic problems. But I know with this price the government give the fertilizer, I know most of the farmers will afford to buy it.
To encourage the ease of farming this season, the government has intervened in the handling charges meant for transporting fertilizer, with hopes that this action will result in a bumper harvest for the state.
In our interview, I had a conversation with Chief Audu Ogbe on the government's efforts to make agriculture attractive and ultimately become a major revenue earner for the country. Chief Audu Ogbe, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
But now we have 3 universities of agriculture that has been in existence since 1988, and now they have been moved from the regulation of the National Universities Commission to the Ministry of Agriculture. What is the reason behind that movement?
Well, the universities were established in 1998. The law came into existence in 1992 in November. From the very beginning, they were under the management of the Ministry of Agriculture. Until some 22 years down the road when something happened, I don't know what exactly, and by executive fiat, somebody asked them to move to the Ministry of Education. And that's how they left. And then, because they left, they gave up their core mandate of developing agriculture, doing research and training in agriculture. And the effect has been quite severe on progress in agricultural development here.
What do you mean by severe?
Severe because you can't do agriculture now. It's not the days of peasant farmers in the villages without research. We need work on seeds, soil types, nutrition. We need processing. You keep inventing. You need diseases, protection against crops and so on. So people just have to be doing this work.
Let's understand the difference. When they're under education, what is the difference now that they'll be under the Ministry of Agriculture?
They had no money for grants. They then started teaching, engaging in management courses like accounting, administration, secretarial studies, even law. Not too long ago, one of them was about to start teaching medicine, human medicine. And
Which of them?
I won't tell you the name now. But they said they were doing all that because they needed to raise revenue to try and cope with research. Now, when they were under us, they had pilot farms in villages. They had extension officers teaching villagers how to plant corn, how to plant their yams, what kind of fertilizer was best for what kind of soil. They taught them all kinds of things, and people came along. But as they went off, the farmers also simply returned to their good old peasant ways of growing food. And so we had to rely on imports to feed ourselves, especially in the staples, and in eggs, and in vegetables, and fruits. Everything went down.
The bane of every university really should be research.
Research.
Was that not happening?
And teaching.
Wasn't that happening?
No, research simply died. They said so yesterday when they came. Research died because to do research, you need funding. To get the funding, you have to make the case to a ministry sympathetic to your cause. A ministry that knows that this is your main business. The Ministry of Education has a large number of universities under it. And they might have been trying, but definitely not enough.